Hello, my name is Sister Eileen. I'm a Dominican sister living in the convent just next to your school. When this pandemic ends, I'd really love to speak with you face to face, but for now, this is the best that we can do. Today, I'll tell you a little bit about me and a little bit about us. After that, we'll spend 2 or 3 minutes together in prayer. But before all that, I want to say that I hope you are doing okay. I know these weeks and months have not been easy, and I hope these next few minutes bring you a short break from what you need to do today. So do make sure you're sitting comfortably for this short time together. What do I tell you about me? I'm from Cork, from a town called Ballincollig, which isn't too far from Cork City. But my home is in the countryside, so we're lucky to have lots of outdoor space. I enjoy lots of different things: walking, cycling, blogging, doodling, baking, talking about ideas, and so much more. I love dogs, poetry, music, the scriptures. I love the sea and the hills and coffee and chocolate and God, but not in that order. And birds, insects, flowers, stones, colour all fascinate me. All these random things connect to my being a Dominican sister, and to what I'll share with you today about prayer. What will I tell you about us, about Dominican sisters? Well, to put it briefly, our life rests on 4 things. We live together and share our lives. We pray together and by ourselves too. We have a ministry or a job, and we study. All of those things, and more, attracted me to Dominican life. I've been a sister for just over 8 years now. I moved to St. Catherine's in Belfast in September 2019. Right now, 9 sisters live here. An important part of our life as Dominican sisters is prayer together. Each day, our community of 9 sisters pray and sing morning prayer and evening prayer in our chapel, and we attend daily Mass when we can. Each evening, some sisters pray the Rosary together, and once a week, some of us gather in our library to pray with the scriptures. That might sound like a lot, and it might sound hard, but prayer doesn't need to be complicated. Prayer is just spending time with God, and there are lots of ways and places we can do that. I love praying with my community, but I spend time with God in different ways too. Some nights I sit in the dark in our chapel. The quietness and darkness seem to make a bigger space for meeting God. Some days I pray by walking, or by playing music, or writing, or drawing. When I'm stressed or on edge, being in nature can help. It calms me, and it reminds me that God cares, that God looks after me. When I'm near the sea, or in the hills, or anywhere there's nature and beauty, I can feel God very close, and I know then that God carries me, that God doesn't leave me, even when I feel very alone. Maybe you get that. Maybe it reminds you of things that make you go wow, or things that lift your spirits. A sunset, your best friend's smile, a rainbow, the first daffodil, a particularly good chocolate cake, snow, music that moves your heart and your body. To me, those are all reminders from God, almost as if God is tapping us on the shoulder to say, I'm with you, I've got you, to remind you again about the prayer part of our lives as Dominican sisters here in St. Catherine's Convent. When we're in our chapel praying, we can see the hospital across the road. We see patients and staff at the windows, and people there can see us. From near my room upstairs, I can watch the emergency helicopter landing and taking off from the hospital roof. And just like you in your classrooms, we hear ambulance sirens. So we've constant reminders to pray for people connected to the hospital. We have a book too in our chapel, filled with names of family, friends, total strangers, all people who ask us for prayers. And every day we remember and include them when we pray. You might find it hard to imagine, but some of my sisters here have been Dominicans for longer than I've been alive. So they've lots of practice in praying and years of prayer under their belts. It's good that praying for other people is part of our lives, and we're always happy to bring people in our hearts to God. Perhaps there's something that you would like us to bring to God for you. For the next couple of minutes, I invite you to close your eyes, or if you prefer, just watch the candles on your screen. Start by checking you're sitting comfortably, putting away the phone, and close your eyes now if you like. For the next couple of minutes, let's spend time with God. Try not to focus on anything specific. Don't force your thinking. Just notice where your mind goes, what comes into your thoughts, what you're feeling. There's no need to try to make sense of it. No need to figure it out for now. For this short time, just sit with it. Relax. Breathe. Listen. Notice. Breathe. Relax. Be. Just be here now. Where do you find happiness? What are you thankful for? What is leading you to feel anxious or afraid? What brings you peace? What is worrying you? What might help? What might you need? What is in your heart at this moment? What would you most like God to know? What would you most like to say to God? What would you most like God to know? For now, you can't write that down to add to our convent book of prayers. But that's okay, because God knows about you, and God knows what you need. I'd like you to try to remember this. Each evening at 6 p.m., when I go to prayer with my sisters. Your needs, your worries, your hopes, your fears, your prayers, that thing you would most like God to know, will come with me to our chapel, and I will remind God about you. God, of course, doesn't need reminders, because God never forgets about us. But on the tougher days, when you think God might just have forgotten you, it might help you to know that we remember you before God, and that God always remembers. My prayer for you is that knowing this does help you.